So for linear differential equations of higher order, here are the basic concepts and ideas. So the standard form of a linear DE of order n is in this form. So you can see the derivatives are arranged according to decreasing order, and the right side of the equation is labeled as f of x. So if the right side of the equation is equal to 0, so it's classified as a homogeneous linear DE. And if otherwise not equal to 0, then it's non-homogeneous linear DE, a higher order linear DE. So we use what we call differential operator using capital letter D so to make the derivative notations much more simple. So if we see this capital letter D, and it's being raised to a power of n, and the dependent variable is placed after the exponent n, so it means that we get the derivative of the dependent variable y with respect to, we're assuming here that our independent variable is x, so with respect to x. So if we're going to have third derivative of y with respect to x, so we simply write the capital letter D and then raise it to a power of 3, and then the dependent variable. And there's another example. So if it's first derivative, so just simply d raised power of 1 times the dependent variable y. So for example, if you see this notation, so it means we need to get the derivative of this function, e to the power of 3x. So that means the result is 3 times e to the power of 3x. The first derivative now of e to the power of 3x. And another example, if we're going to get the third derivative of cosine of 2x, so it's equal to 8 times sine of 2x. So first derivative is negative 2 sine of 2x. Second derivative is negative 4 sine, or cosine rather, of 2x. And third derivative is positive 8 sine of 2x. For these operators, we treat them as like operators in doing algebraic operations. So we have these three principles that we're going to use in finding the solution to a higher order linear DE. Okay, so if you have these terms multiplied to y, so we simply just distribute the dependent variable y to each of the terms here. So that's for linearity principle. So the second one is product of two operators. If we are multiplying d to the power of m and d to the power of n with these coefficients a and b, so we simply multiply the derivatives of the given function whose dependent variable is y. And then product between a function and operator, so the function f of x is just multiplied to the derivative of a function labeled as y. So if we're going to like make the standard equation of a higher order linear DE more compact, okay, using the differential operator, so we can write it as this one. Okay, we're replacing the derivatives with d to the power of n. Or much shorter is if we're going to treat this series of terms as a function of a differential operator d. Okay, so this f of d is what we call a functional operator. Okay, so for the first type of linear DE, so for homogeneous linear DE with constant coefficients, so supposing we have we are using the functional operator. Okay, take note that the right side of the equation is 0 because it's homogeneous linear DE. So for example, if we have this second derivative of y with respect to x plus 2 times the first derivative of y with respect to x minus 3y equals 0, so we can write this as, diba? Another way of writing this using the y prime, y double prime notations. Okay, or if we're using the differential operator, then we simply just write letter D and then the order, okay, of the derivative. If you see these notations, it means we are solving for an equation, okay, with um, order 2, okay, and degree 1. So second derivative of the function y, okay, with respect to x. So if the solution of this linear DE of higher order, okay, for example, is y is equal to e to the power of mx, where m is a constant. If we get the first derivative of what we label as the solution, so it's m times e to the power of mx, again, m is a constant. If we're going to get the second derivative, so it becomes this times m, right? Or m squared times e to the power of mx. So if we're going to plug in these equations, okay, to here, okay, including this, what we labeled as the solution to the given dE. So the equation becomes this. If we're going to factor out e to the power of mx, so we are having this quadratic no, na expression. And if this is a solution to this dE, then it follows that each factor here is equal to 0, right? So e to the power of mx is 0, and m squared plus am plus b is also equal to 0. So we can solve for the values of m here, okay? And this would be our basis to write the solution of the higher order linear DE later. Okay, so this equation where the new or the constant here multiplied to x is being used instead of these notations y double prime, y prime, or the derivative form, etc. So this is what we call a characteristic or auxiliary equation. So auxiliary, so it helps us in determining later what's the solution to the given differential equation. So there are four cases. So we are dividing the types into four cases, okay, depending on the nature of the roots of the auxiliary equation. So if the roots of the auxiliary equation are distinct, okay, so no repetition of roots, so the general solution to the DE is this one. So these m values are the distinct real roots. So we multiply arbitrary constant to e to the power of m sub 1 times x, and then the second arbitrary constant to e to the power of m sub 2 times x, and then the last one would be if there are n distinct real roots, so the last arbitrary constant e to the power of m sub n times x. So if the differential equation of a second order, then we expect that there are two arbitrary constants and two roots of the auxiliary equation, whether distinct and real, or repeated and real, or distinct and imaginary, okay, or complex roots. And the last one would be repeated and complex roots. So we have the second case wherein the general solution is now the repeated real root. Okay, if for example, it's a second order DE, so M1 and M2, for example, are just equal. Okay, so M is repeated n times, for example, 2 times or 3 times or 4 times. So we simply write the exponential function as e to the power of mx, so the common or the repeated, okay, root of the auxiliary equation multiplied to, okay, so starting with the first arbitrary constant plus second arbitrary constant multiplied to the independent variable x, and then if there are n, or if it's an n order linear differential equation, then the last term would be having x raised to the power of n minus 1. Okay, so if it's third order, then the last expression here would be x squared. Okay, so there should be a close parenthesis here. So for example, if the given dE is y triple prime plus 2y double prime minus 3y prime equals 0. So the first step is we simply write the auxiliary equation. Okay, so we just replace the derivative with m, okay, so m cubed, okay, plus 2m squared minus 3m, okay, is equal to 0. So again, this is the auxiliary equation. So the roots of this equation would be our basis for our solution. Okay, the number multiplied to the independent variable in the exponential function part, okay, of the solution. So by factoring, so m is a common factor, right? So we have m times m squared plus 2m, okay, minus 3 equals 0. So this is a cubic equation. So we are going to have three values of m, okay, three roots of the equation. So each factor is multiplied to, rather equated to 0. So m equals 0. So our first root is 0. And then this quadratic expression is equal to m plus 3 times m minus 1, right? Okay, by factoring. So we have the second m value, which is negative 3, and the third m value, which is positive 1. Okay, so all roots are real and distinct. Okay, so this is under case number 1. So the general solution, okay, would be, so for the general solution, okay, so from the slide, and from the previous slide, so the general solution of a linear DE, higher order linear DE with distinct real roots, okay, as y is equal to c sub 1 times e to the m sub 1 plus x. So if there are three, if it's a third order DE, then we write three terms, okay, on the right side. So by plugging in the values of m1, m2, and m3, so we have this general solution. So y equals c sub 1 e to the 0x sub 1, and then c2 e to the power of negative 3x per m sub 2, and c sub 3 times e to the 1x, or just x. Okay, so if we can write it, okay, as c sub 1 e to the 0x is just equal to 1 plus c sub 2 e to the negative 3x, and we can write 1x as 1, sorry, as x. So c sub 3 e to the x. So this is now the general solution to the third order, okay, linear differential equation. So linear in y, by the way, okay, so we are having, we're assuming that the function here is dependent on x. Okay, so if it's not x, then make sure to use the correct letters. Okay. So we have another higher order linear differential equation. Okay, still linear in y. Okay, so it's a fourth order DE. And it's homogeneous because the right side is just equal to 0. So again, the first step is to write the auxiliary equation. So make sure to copy the coefficients, okay, the constant coefficients. So replace the derivatives with m raised to the power of n. So the first term becomes 4m to the power of 4, okay, minus 15m squared plus 5m, okay, plus 6 is equal to 0. So it's fourth order, okay, equation, quadric na equation. So if you have your calculators with you, then you can just use, okay, your calculator in finding the roots, or we recall our algebra here. So if you do not have a calculator that can solve a quadric equation, then use the different ways of solving, okay, for this polynomial, okay, equation. So for this one, if it's very difficult to know what are the factors, especially if it's already a quadric, okay, type of function, so we can use sort of trial and error, right? Okay, so we have here um, using the concept on finding no the roots by assuming some divisors, okay, based on the factors of the last term of your equation, okay, based on the factors of 6. So we can have 1, positive negative 1, or positive negative 6, positive negative 2, positive negative 3. Okay, so by using synthetic division also to make the solutions shorter. Okay, so if the remainder of the function, okay, after dividing it by, let's say, m minus, or rather, yeah, m minus 6, okay, 6 coming from one of the factors, no, of the constant, okay, 6, the last term of your polynomial equation, okay, so if the remainder is 0, then that m minus 6, okay, is a factor of this auxiliary equation. Okay, so therefore m equals 6 is a root of this auxiliary equation. Okay, so in doing synthetic divisions, we copy the coefficients, arrange accordingly, okay, in decreasing order. So we don't have an m cube here, so we write 0, negative 15 for the squared term, and then positive 5, and then the last term is the constant term, which is equal to 6. Okay, so if you're going to assume some values, okay, so make sure that initially you'll try the the values, no, that are lesser, okay, because you'll be multiplying, okay, some values with your assumed number here, okay, which is a factor, no, of 6. So, and your numbers here are not very large. So let's start, for example, with say negative 1, perhaps. Okay, so if it's negative 1 here, so you copy the first number, multiply it to the to the assumed number, negative 1, so it's negative 4. Then get the sum of 0 and negative 4, so it's negative 4 multiplied by negative 1, so that's positive 4, and repeat the process until you are already on the last column. This is negative 11, positive 11, 16, okay, negative 16. So the remainder here, okay, the difference between 6 and negative 16 is the remainder after you divide this auxiliary equation by m equals negative 1, or that's m plus 1. So the remainder is not 0. So m equals negative 1 is not a root of this auxiliary equation. So you can try, and for example, next is negative 2. Okay, so just repeat the process. So for 0, negative 15, 5, and 6. So if it's negative 2, sorry, so it's 4, and then negative 8, and then negative 8, and then 16. Okay, difference is 1, and then negative 2, and then you have 3 times negative 2, so it's negative 6. So the remainder now is 0. Therefore, okay, m equals negative 2 is an root, no, to of the auxiliary equation. Okay, or m plus 2 is a factor of this polynomial expression. So the first m value is negative 2. You can continue. Okay, or if your calculator can already solve a cubic equation, then you can use your calculator. Okay, or if we'll continue, so actually we can put another row here. Okay, since the space is not enough, so just transfer the results here. Okay, so if it's initially to the fourth power, okay, for this auxiliary equation, so the first number here, okay, is the numerical coefficient of m cubed. Okay, so from 4 to 3. So it's 4m cubed minus 8m squared plus m plus 3 equals 0. It's our cubic equation. Okay, after knowing the first root, so we're down to 3 more, okay, roots. So let's say if we're going to try another value, maybe what, negative 3. Okay, so negative 1 is not possible anymore, so maybe negative 3. Okay, so 4 and then negative 3. Okay, negative 11, positive 33. So obviously it's not possible. Okay, so negative 1 is not a root. Okay, so if you continue, so it's going to be um we haven't tried positive 1 yet. So maybe 1 is also a factor. So it's 4, negative 8, 1, and 3. Say it's positive 1 because 3 is already very large. So 4, then 4 here, then negative 4. Okay, times 1 is negative 4. Sum is negative 3 times 1, so it's positive, or rather negative 3 also. Okay, so the remainder is 0. So our second root is positive 1. Okay, so the remaining numbers here are the coefficients of now a quadratic equations. We have 4m squared minus 4m, okay, minus 3 equals 0. Okay, if I can do factoring or use quadratic formula, okay, or maybe completing the square. So whatever process that you want to use. So of course, if you're allowed to use a calculator, then just use a calculator. Okay. For example, for me, I don't like personally quadratic formula, especially if the numbers here are very large. So we can just do factoring, no? 4 is common for the first two terms. Okay, so if it's m squared minus m, okay, mm, I prefer completing the square. Okay, so if the first coefficient is 1, okay, so you just simply divide the coefficient of the middle term, okay, by 2 and then square the result. So that's 1 over 2 squared, so that's 1/4. If to complete the square, so you are basically adding 4 times 1/4, you are adding 1, okay, to the left side of the equation. So make sure to balance it by subtracting 1. Okay, 4 times 1/4 no, is 1 equals 0. So you'll have 4, and then this is now a perfect square trinomial. Okay, m minus 1/2, okay, quantity squared, and then minus 4 equals 0. So you can divide the whole equation by 4. 1 over 4, no, multiply by 1 over 4, divide by 4. Or you can do that before completing the square. Okay, the dividing the equation by 4 can be done, of course, before completing the square. So, depende. Okay, so naandan na the process of solving for the roots of an equation, polynomial equation. Okay, so we have m minus 1/2 quantity squared, okay, minus 1, no, equals 0. Or that's m minus 1/2, okay, quantity squared equals 1. And if we get the square root of both sides of the equation, so we have m minus 1/2 equals positive and negative square root of 1, which is 1. So we have two values here. So our third root is 1/2, okay, plus 1, or that's 3/2, right? And our fourth root is 1/2, okay, minus 1, or that's negative, okay, 1/2. Therefore, the general solution, okay, is, so the general solution therefore is y is equal to c sub 1 e to the negative 2x. Okay, the first root from the previous slide is negative 2. The second one is positive 1. Okay, the third is 3/2, and the fourth is negative 1/2. So the second term for the solution is C2 e to the 1x, or just x, okay, plus C3 e to the 3/2 x. And the fourth one is C sub 4 e to the negative 1/2 x. So this is the general solution to the given D. So another higher order linear DE. So you can see this is an equation using the differential operator. So we write first the auxiliary equation. You simply replace d with m. So this becomes 2m to the power of 4 plus 5m cubed minus 3m squared, okay, is equal to 0. So it's already a quadratic equation, but as you can see, there's a common factor, which is m squared. So just factor it out. So we have 2m squared plus 5m minus 3, okay, left. So we have m squared equals 0 for the first factor, equated to 0. So we have two values of m, which are the same, okay, equal and real. So therefore, this belongs to case 2, okay, for repeated real roots. So we have m1 and m2, both of which are 0. And for the second factor, so 2m squared plus 5m minus 3. Okay, so I think this is factorable. If it's not factorable, then just use the quadratic formula or completing the square. Okay, so this is 2m and m here for 2m squared, and it's 3 and 1, negative 3 and 1, or positive 3 and negative 1. So this is multiplied to 2m, so it's 6m for the outer terms. So we need a positive 3 here, and negative 1 would be placed here to get a sum of 5m, right? This is 6m minus 1m, so 5m. So equate this to 0. So we have 2m minus 1 equals 0. So the third root is 1/2. And the fourth one is negative 3. Okay. So combination of cases 1 and 2. Okay. So according to the summary shown earlier, so for repeated roots, so you'll write the exponential function one time, okay, e to the power of mx, okay, m the repeated root, okay, and then if it's be repeated n times, you'll have c sub 1 for the first term, and then c sub 2 times the independent variable, okay, in the second term, plus dot 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 until the last number of times, okay, that the repeated root is is um is repeated. So c sub n times x to the power of n minus 1. Okay, so for 0 na values of m, so we have e to the 0x, or simply just equal to 1. Okay, and then times e sub 1. And then since there are two values only, so twice lang you repeat, so it's c sub 2 times x. That's for m sub 1 and m sub 2. And for the other roots, okay, so they are distinct. So under case 1, so we have c sub 3 e to the power of 1/2 x, okay, and c to the power of c sub 4 e to the power of negative 3x. Or you can have the real roots first, no, with c1 and c2, and then later for the repeated root c3 and c4. Okay, anyway, okay, same value naman na, no? So e to the 0x is just 1. So to simplify our answers, it's c sub 1 plus c sub 2 times x plus c sub 3 e to the power of 1/2 x plus c sub 4 e to the power of negative 3x. So if you have a general solution, okay, you'll have an idea, okay, what's the order, no, of the differential equation, okay, just by looking at the exponents, okay, of the exponential functions of the general solution. Okay, so we have here a third order linear DE. Okay, so we write the auxiliary equation. So m cubed plus 10m squared, okay, plus 25m equals 0. So it's a cubic equation, but as you can see, there's a common factor m. So we factor it out. So the second factor would be m squared plus 10m plus 25, which is actually a perfect square, right? So perfect square trinomial. So the first root is 0. Okay, for this perfect square trinomial, it's actually the square of m plus 5. So therefore, we have m plus 5, k equals 0 if we get the square root of each side, no, of the equation. So we have two values of m, okay, by the way. So it's m equals negative 5, okay, so because square root of 0 is just 0. So make sure to take note, okay, that the equation is quadratic. Therefore, we have two roots, which are just equal. Okay, so the negative 5 is being repeated, so we can label the repeated roots, okay, as m sub 2 and m sub 3. So we have negative 5. So for case 2, so, and of course, case 1 also. So for case 1 muna, so for the distinct root, which is 0, so it's e1 e to the 0x. Okay, and then for the repeated roots, so we have e to the repeated value of m, which is negative 5, multiply it to x, and then multiplied by c1 plus k c2 times x. Or there's already a c1, sorry. This is a third order DE, so we expect 3 arbitrary constants. So this should be c2 and c3. Okay, so this is the general solution to the DE.